Amethyst Kia comes to us from Johnson City, Tennessee, the birthplace of country music, or at least the birthplace of commercial country music. She describes herself as a Southern Gothic, I know what that means, alt country blues singer-songwriter.
Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take my man. Jolene, 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 please don't take him just because you can. Your beauty is beyond compare, flaming locks of auburn hair with ivory skin and eyes of emerald green. Your voice is like the breath of spring, your skin is soft like summer rain, and I cannot compete with you, Jolene. He talks about you in his sleep. There's nothing I can do to keep him crying when he calls your name, Jolene. And I can easily understand how you can easily take my man. Don't you know what it means to me, Jolene? Jolene, 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 I beg it of you, please don't take my man.
How do you describe your music on your website?
I describe it as like Southern roots or Southern Gothic.
Southern Gothic, that was the word that got me.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
What I mean by that is a lot of the, and really it's, I guess for me it's kind of, in some ways it's kind of redundant because a lot of old time music most of it's pretty dark by nature. So, but I don't know, I was thinking about like, as far as like kind of repackaging the idea in like with different terms is more or less where I was going for with that. But it's just a lot of the songs that resonate with me, come from a place of darkness, and a lot of us have to deal with darkness, within our lives at some point.
Oh, yeah.
And for me, before I even got into traditional music, I was listening to like dark stuff, because that was my way of it was like a catharsis for me. If I sing about these negative experiences that I'm feeling, it's a way to like release it. And so anyway, that's just the kind of material that attracts me, is the stuff the kind of things that are tragic that we have to deal with on a regular basis.
But we're glad to have his brother Travis with us tonight from Haywood County, North Carolina. He's a wonderful banjo player and multi-instrumentalist. I've known him for a long time. He's played with the Real Time Travelers, Dirk Powell, Riley Bogus, Martha Scanlon. He teaches in the Junior Appalachian Music Program in Haywood County and also at East Tennessee State University. We're glad he could come this year. He's joined by the Carolina Colonels, which consists of Kevin Kerberg, who spent some time in Lexington getting his PhD in musicology with Ron Penn, now teaches at Warren Wilson College. Jeff Keith, guitar and mandolin player, who also was at UK getting his PhD in history at the same time. I got to play with Kevin and Jeff in Kentucky Wild Horse. Those were golden years. And also, Jeff's from Western Kentucky, sort of one of the homes of bluegrass in Kentucky. And they are joined by Adrian Shepard Powell on the fiddle. All he does is go around and win fiddle contests. You want to know what hard driving fiddle is all about, folks? I don't know anyone. There's a lot of fiddlers. I don't know anyone who plays just like Adrian Shepard Powell. But the best thing about this band is every one of them is just a sweetheart of an individual. I've known them all for a long time, and they bring good energy to everything they do. Folks, this is going to be good. The Carolina Colonels.
We are, in fact, the Berea College Folk Roots Ensemble. We take Appalachian and old-timey music as our touchstone, and then the students decide what other kinds of traditional roots folk music they want to do from there.
It is a legacy, it was handed down to me, a border farmer and a skinny mule. He parts the red clay like it was the Red Sea. It is a legacy, both me and you. You are a black man, I am a white man, both come from the Southland, both doing the best we can. Well, the Grim Reaper was my brother's keeper, the way my brother was kept, small wonder Jesus wept. It is a legacy passed down to you and me, what we're taught to believe. We never question these things. It is a legacy. It's a wild and bitter seed sown across those fertile fields where the roots run deep.
Generation Gap, they play at churches and festivals throughout central Kentucky. I do know James Shootman because I've seen him playing with Lewis and Donna many times. The group consists of James on mandolin, Austin Perkins on banjo, Callie Northern on the fiddle, Eric Shootman bass, and Mark Edmondson guitar, and they're from right here, you all. Make them welcome.
Well, I thought I had 50 girls my time, but that was before I met you. I never saw one that I wanted for mine, but that was before I met you. I thought I was swinging the world by the tail. I thought I could never be blue. I thought I'd been kissed and I thought I'd been loved, but that was before I met you. I thought I could never be blue. I thought I'd be kissed and I thought I'd be loved, but that was before I met you.
The local honeys come to us from Linda Jean Stokely from Woodford County and Montana Hobbs from somewhere in the some remote part of Lee County. It's all remote. Linda Jean and Montana are the first women graduates of the Kentucky Center for Traditional Music's Appalachian Music Major Studies program. And that's not their only distinction. They also have a new CD out that is just wonderful. Instrumentally, vocals are amazing. Best thing I've heard in years. Good original songs and a mixture of old traditional songs. And they were talking this afternoon on the Head of the Holler show about how I think the best traditional music today is kind of both contemporary. It's about people living in today's world and the issues they face, but it's got a traditional feel to it. So the roots are showing, and I just think they're great. They're some of my favorite people, and I know you're going to like them too. Linda Jean Stokely and Montana Hobbs, the local honeys. They got some honey for sale back there too.
Show metal where the word treads. The grease monkeys, money on an oil pan means a T-bone steak for the junk man. The junk man, the junk man. When the people get the blues, well, he gets a new pair of shoes. But the poor man, he's on the junk plan. The recession hits him hard and it's back to the old junkyard. Everything you can't sell. There's dried up blood on the dashboard and a handful of change laying in the floor. The young people died before they should, but them rear corner panels look pretty good. The junk man, the junk man. When the people get the blues, well, he gets a new pair of shoes. But the poor man, he's on the junk plan. The recession hits him hard and it's back to the old junkyard. Transmissions, radiators, brake lines. For the junkyard man makes dollar signs. The junk man, the junk man. When the people get the blues, well, he gets a new pair of shoes. But the poor man, he's on the junk plan. The recession hits him hard and it's back to the old junkyard. The recession hits him hard and it's back to the old junkyard.
Speaking entirely for myself, I'm here 4 years in Berea. Hope to be here a lot longer. The Appalachians that's a mountain range, right? That's it. End of story. When I came here and understood that this is a vibrant culture, not only is it a vibrant culture, but a relatively well-kept secret from the rest of the country, I have been learning a lot. And so I wanted to ask all of you what your thoughts are on that. And if you had a microphone and you could speak to the rest of the country about the Appalachians, what's one quick thing that you would want the rest of the country to know about this wonderful region? I'll give that to you first, then.
Most importantly, that we're a very diverse community. I mean, for years and years and years, it's been popular media has portrayed Appalachia as one thing. Poor white people is basically, you know, the consensus, and there is a very rich community of, you know, people of different religions, different philosophies, different political persuasions, different races, different sexual orientations. So I mean, it's a very diverse community. I think that's probably the most important thing for people to realize, because some people still don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Linda?
but
I was hoping you wouldn't call me now.
Amethyst, you have any more to say? Never mind. Linda's on the spot. It's a pop quiz, Linda. Let's go.
I know. I failed.
Well,
You want me to go over to
we'll
Montana
go to
first?
Montana. and
Yeah.
do
I
the
can do
second.
that.
Yeah, go to Montana.
It's just, it's home, you know what I mean? And it feels like, I mean, you folks who are not from the region may feel differently, but I feel like it's home to anyone who enters here.
We feel that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's home for me because it's literally, you know, where I've been reared, but it has that feeling, and it's a culture, and I know we use that word all the time, our culture and heritage, but that's really what it is, and it's incredibly rich. And I was actually thinking about something last night. I mean, I'm sure anyone who's from Kentucky and you go somewhere outside of Kentucky and you say, yeah, I'm from Kentucky, you get the same old questions, you know, like, you wear shoes down there? And we went to Canada and we played a house party,
Oh
and
my God.
and now she's got something to say. We played a house party and some guy said something to me about, you know, like if I knew how to read. And I said some snarky
We
comment.
never been on a plane before.
I said some snarky comment back to him, but I wanted to make it clear, like, you know, I get that that's a stereotype like that. Trust me, I'm fully aware. I wrote many a paper about stereotypes in Appalachia. You know, I get that. But that is our culture, and we have to own up to that. But we have grown from it, and we're still growing from it, and we're still healing from the rest of the world, kind of pointing fingers and, you know, laughing at us a bit and putting us down. So we're still working up from that, and I think we're doing a hell of a job, you know, kicking barriers down and making it known that, you know, people have said for a long time that Appalachia's 20, 30 years in the past, and but we've had disadvantages to kind of keep us
Yes.
there. We've had a lot of hardships to have to overcome. Sometimes the future ain't all that great either. It don't always look that bright. So, you know.
So Linda, go ahead.
Well, Montana pretty much summed it up for me.
Okay.
The whole thing about it being home, I mean, I just disregard most, I don't know, since I guess I'm in it, I don't really, I don't know, I'm not looking for sympathy or acceptance from anybody. I don't care. I love my home, and so,
I like that.
I don't know, maybe I'm just mean. I don't know, but I'm so happy and I'm so proud to be from a state that is so, that cares so much about its culture and history, that it just makes me proud to be from here. I currently just completed a grant with Jesse Wells, who's one of my favorite fiddlers and one of my favorite people in the whole world. I got that through the Kentucky Arts Council, and Montana is currently participating in one with John Haywood, who's like one of the most incredible banjo players, mixed media artists. I'm fortunate to be from a place that has the value, even though I might not agree with some, you know, Matt Bevan. But
Just to
still,
put out a name at
just
random.
there's,
Understand.
yeah, you know, just pull one out of a hat. But there's a lot of artists. There's so many artists, and I think people all around the world don't realize that everyone's an artist and everyone has
Amen.
creativity. And there are so many amazing authors, textile artists, you know, musicians, crafters in this area that I'm so proud just to call it my home. So I don't really take in negativity from outside media and things like that.
Right.
Well, we have about
maybe a minute, maybe 2 minutes left.
We wanted to close with asking everybody a set of questions. Just sort of something, a little bit of dessert to go out on. So we'll start with Montana and work our way down. We want to ask you,
So each one of you gets a different question.
yeah.
Okay, so here's
You're
first
on your
one.
own, Linda.
Here's the first one. Here's the first one.
So I get the
This
easy
is
one?
this is sort of the Bernard Pivot questions, but for traditional musicians.
That's right.
Okay, so when you're on the road and you can't find a particular food that you really want, what's that food?
Damn, that's the hardest
We
question
don't have
of
it
the day.
Do we have any problem trying to find
Yeah,
food?
well, no, because me and Linda, we've talked about this a long time. We not only aren't scared of gas station food, we fully embrace it. So, I mean,
Love it.
you really can't, like,
So you're okay with that?
yeah, you can't
All right.
scare us away from any kind of food. I have a motto, I'll try anything twice.
All right.
So,
I'm going to ask you that question again in 5 years and see if you feel the same.
You pick one.
If you could play an instrument that you don't play, what would you play?
The drums.
Ah,
I'm really obsessed with drums, and actually I really like metal drumming and rock drumming and like punk rock drumming. Like those are probably my favorite. What I would, if I were to be like born again or something, it would be.
you should have been here last time. Convocation.
yeah.
Awesome drummer.
Oh really?
Yeah, yeah.
Sure as
Yeah,
it.
I'd probably want to learn come from the jazz perspective first and learn that stuff, and then do, because a lot of the stuff that I really like and listen to stems from like jazz drumming
Yeah.
anyway. Like so yeah, drums is definitely something I would love to learn how to play.
All right.
And Linda, what would
And
you?
finally, all right,
What would you, see, this is what happens when married people do an interview. A horrible fight is about to break out. Just quickly, what instrument would you never play?
Saxophone.
Saxophone.
So
Okay.
you don't like ska?
And the final question, and this is for each of you.
Some of it.
This for each of you. We're sort of amending this from James Lipton. If heaven exists, who do you hope will be playing or singing at the pearly gates when you get there?
Hendrix.
That one was easy, I guess.
Yeah, that's the easiest question.
Wow.
Montana.
Montana.
John Prine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Prince.
Prince. Let's hear it for our guest today.